Okay, so we have already discussed different topics related to curriculum, and today in this session we are going to see the details of curriculum for access, equity and quality. Access, equity and quality. So these three can be considered as the tripod of curriculum. Access, equity and quality. What is access? The meaning of access. The availability. Access to institution. Access to programs. Whether a desired program is available in an accessible distance or in a preferred institution. And whether the institution provides equity. There are concepts equity and equality. What is the difference? Equity and equality. Equity, we have to provide what all resources we are having, what all things we are having, what all facilities we are having shall be shared barrier free, without any barrier, without any restrictions. Just like what Jesus Christ did. You might have heard about that. 5 അപ്പവും 2 മീനും 5000 പേർക്ക് കൊടുത്തതായിട്ട്. So it's a beautiful illustration of what is called as equity. Though the resources are limited, the institution shall be responsible to distribute it to all. Then the third concept, quality. What is quality? Quality can be measured on the basis of a set of criteria. Quality of programs. Suppose we are going to purchase something. If you are going to buy a pen, definitely you will check its quality in writing. How better it writes. So these are the three basic concepts with reference to curriculum that we are going to discuss today. So curriculum access. As I mentioned earlier, the availability of a particular curriculum in an institution of our preference. So for example, we prefer a CBSE syllabus in a state government school. So state government schools are usually following a state syllabus, not a central syllabus. So a central curriculum is not available in a state school. So that kind of availability of curriculum in a nearby institution, that is one aspect of curriculum access. Then when we thought about higher education, we prefer higher education in certain specific disciplines, specific programs or specific courses. But such programs may not be available, means may not be accessible for us due to one, it may not be available in the nearby institution or the preferred institution, or such programs may not be affordable. That also determine accessibility of programs, accessibility of courses. The fee for a particular course or a particular program and the economic background of the learner. So that may hinder not only the economic, the social background as well. The learning capacity, the learning level, mental capacities, all these influence selection of particular programs or institutions. So all these come to contribute to availability. Whether the program or the specific curriculum easily available, then how far it is affordable. These two are the two main aspects regarding availability. Then complexity of the curriculum, that may be another issue. You know that as in the case of CBSE curriculum, there are other such curriculum, ICSE curriculum, and so many other curriculums are there. Even from preschool stage, the Montessori curriculum for preschool or for an elementary school. The curriculum is not so complex, but the management of that curriculum is complex. Because managing certain curriculum demand different types or variety of resources, more human resources as well as material resources. Then certain curriculum in which the concepts or activities may be provided in a much higher fashion, much higher level, means more complexity. So students with average or below average learning capacities may not be able to successfully complete such programs. So that learning capacity or the mental level of the learners, so that also is another factor which contribute to complexity of curriculum. Then the question of inclusion. Nowadays we are more talking about, at least talking about inclusion, inclusiveness, mainstreaming of learners with some kind of inabilities or less abilities. Initially we classify it as disability, then it as differential ability, and now we classified or designate it as special abilities, or learners require special attention or special needs. CWSN, children with special needs, because they have some different demands because of the specific features or specific differences in their abilities. So how far the curriculum provide access to learners with such differential abilities? The differences may be physical or mental, or maybe with respect to learning ability. There are learners who have no physical differences or no differences in mental capacity, but some of them having certain learning problems, some attention problems, coordination problems, memory problems. Such kind of learning problems also are. So whether the curriculum provide necessary content and activities for such kind of varied learners. So that reference to inclusion. Then technological. The knowledge of technology or the availability of technology. So access to technology. All these we can say. Because day after day, the influence of technology in education is increasing in a very rapid rate. Though different forms of learning applications, learning platforms were prevalent all over the world since at least 10 years, we are familiar with some of such tools or platforms very recently, only due to the recent pandemic. So that forced us to think about how far these technology can be incorporated in learning or in teaching or in managing evaluation, etc. So technology is the key. So how far the learners are access to technology. The basic requirement for technology are: one is power supply, uninterrupted power supply. And the second one, or the similarly equally important one, the internet connection, that also with required speed or strength. So these two are two basic aspects when we talk about technology. So in addition to that, the knowledge of technology, the basic knowledge, how we can use a particular technology, that also is very important. How to prepare an email and how to attach some files with them, how to send it, and how to download necessary files, whether it is attached to an email or from a website, and how we can trust the information provided in websites, how authentic it is. So the authenticity of information, that also is very significant. So access to authentic information online. It is a very difficult task. Because when we search for some specific key term, there may be millions of results that we obtain. So our task is very difficult to identify the genuine as well as correct information, or to identify or locate the correct website or correct source. Not easy as we obtain or gather a book from a library. There it is more easy, because we can easily see the name of the author or publisher on the cover of the book. So by that we can assume that it is a reference book. It's not a guide or not something below that. So regarding accessibility, so we have talked about availability of type of curriculum, availability of institution, then required programs, level of learners, provision for learners with multiple capacities, and the influence of technology. And the second concept, which is equally important with respect to curriculum, is equity. How a curriculum is equitable. How a curriculum can be equitable. So what all things we have to take care of while designing an equitable curriculum. So we have already mentioned about inclusion. So the first aspect shall be the curriculum should be diversified. It should not be a one-size-fits-all curriculum. Usually we are having one-size-fits-all curriculum. What is meant by one-size-fits-all curriculum? Because a single type of curriculum for all. Though we are taking the case of our schools or higher education, all students or learners for a particular program, if it is in school, all state schools following a single curriculum framed by SCRT Kerala. At national level, there are a large number of schools which following NCRT curriculum. There are some other schools which follow some other curriculum as well. So all these learners who follow a specific curriculum, there is no flexibility within that. When we are talking about higher education, all learners for a program, say for example MEd, all learners studying for MEd under a specific university have to follow a single curriculum. What we are learning about the characteristic of learners, each learner is unique. Each learner has her or his peculiarity, difference in capacity, difference in interest, difference in objectives. So there is the significance of diversified curriculum. How far it is diversified? Is there any provision for slow learners? Is there any provision for learners with visual challenges? Is there any provision for learners with any kind of auditory challenges? Is there any provision for fast learners? All these groups will be there within a class or enroll for a particular program. So whether there are additional activities or additional content is required for slow as well as fast learners, for both of them. But the complexity can be or must be different. For a slow learner, the learners require more activities with simplest type of complexity, because they have to get the concept very well. But in the case of fast learners who can learn fast something, they also need additional activities or additional content with high complexity, because they can learn all these things swiftly. So such kind of diversification, when we are designing a curriculum, we may not design a single flexible curriculum. It shall follow the principle of a UDL curriculum in place of a one-size-fits-all curriculum. UDL curriculum means Universal Design Language, because that curriculum will include content and activity for all types of learners, those who are enrolling for a specific program or a specific course. So in that way, we can ensure diversity, flexibility. Then the curriculum shall be barrier free. There shall be no restrictions with respect to gender, culture, economic, social background, physical ability, etc. How to make it barrier free? That's another task. So there are certain programs, even in developed countries. Certain programs like home science, etc., are designated exclusively for females. And there is a concept that girls are not eligible for learning science, not only in third world countries, even in United States. Even in the most developed country we thought of, certain districts of United States, the people think that girls are not eligible for studying science. It's not my word. We had a PhD scholar here who was a teacher in US. Basically, she is a Keralite. She joined PhD here, and she explained various aspects of their education in this particular platform. All we got embarrassed when she described such things. So certain programs or certain courses are designated to specific gender. These and these programs or these and these courses shall be exclusively for girls or exclusively for boys. So that's a barrier. That should not happen. Then we are already talk about that universal design. How we can incorporate learners with diverse needs, different interests. Then distribution. That also is a part of equity. How effectively we distribute content and activities within the curriculum. That also is a significant aspect. So in a 2-year curriculum of teacher education at master's level, the new inclusions are internship. You have to undergo 2 internships. Internship 1 is based on core courses. You are supposed to take classes in core courses. And the second internship is based on your subject option, whether you are sciences or humanities or social sciences, mathematics. So you have to prepare lessons and take classes and assist teacher trainers to prepare lesson plans. You have to provide suggestions for their lesson plans. All these are the functions of the second internship. And you are also required to develop a module for in-service learners of elementary or secondary teachers. That is another activity or another inclusion. So all these components, there are so many other small activities as well. I am not going to elaborate on that, just to say a few for examples. So such components, how these components are integrated or distributed within the curriculum. Initially it was very complicated, then it undergoes certain revisions to make it more practical. So any curriculum in shelf will be very beautiful, but only on practice, only on application, we shall understand its limitations or implementation issues. Which should come first, which should come second, which come as last, likewise. So that distribution, then whether all content or whether all activities available to all required learners, or there are any restrictions in number. When offering elective courses, there shall be some restrictions in number for the matter of convenience, for the matter of managing that particular course. So that creates a problem of distribution. Then resources, as we said earlier about the distribution of resources. what are the required resources identified in the curriculum, and whether these resources are available, accessible, easily accessible to beneficiaries, means learners. Suppose you are familiar with the library facility of the department, as well as the CH library, central library of the university. So when you go in search of certain reference materials or reference books, certain particular books are available as single copy, and it may be with some persons, sometimes with teachers. So such resources may not be available to learners easily. So when we, in the case of field activities, some kind of resources are easily available in some locality, which are not available in some other locality because of the geographical peculiarity. So when we are designing curriculum, we have to take care of the availability of all types of resources which are required for the successful completion of the curriculum with respect to the geographical peculiarities, geographical conditions. So that's about equity, the diversity, barrier-free, universal design shall be distributed to all learners, etc. Then the third concept, quality of curriculum. How can we judge quality of curriculum, or how can we design a quality curriculum? So two are different. Judging the quality of curriculum shall be done at the end, only when the products come out from the process or the entire duration of the program. A 2-year or 3-year program, the graduates comes out from the program, and by assigning the quality of the degree in comparison with certain standards, we can assign the quality. So it's not enough. So it takes some 2 to 3 years for provide us an understanding that this particular curriculum has these and these problems, issues, shortcomings. So in order to overcome such problems, at the design stage itself, we have to design a quality curriculum. So how we can ensure that we are going to design a quality curriculum? The first element or the first aspect is need analysis, need based. Whether the curriculum is based on the exact needs of the individual as well as needs of the society. The individual learners having certain needs, they are joined for a particular course or program with a set of needs. with a set of objectives. That's what we mention about needs. And at the same time, the society expects something from the graduates of education or the graduates of economics, graduates of history, social science, etc. For every discipline, society expects something. That is the needs of the society. The society needs quality graduates in different disciplines. Similarly, regarding the economic growth of the nation demands persons with a set of competencies or skills. Nowadays there is more discussion about skilled workforce. The university is going to establish a skilling center. I don't know the details about that. There is a plan in the university to enhance the skill of learners in higher education. There already is a program at school level till undergraduate level, ASAP program. You might have heard about ASAP, Additional Skill Acquisition Program. A skill can be acquired along with your program of study at school level as well as at undergraduate level. In addition to that, at further levels of education also, there need to master specific skills. So whether the curriculum is based on need analysis of needs of the individual and analysis of the needs of society and nation. Then recently, the need of the environment also shall be taken care of. Because a healthy environment is required for the better survival of life on earth. So it's so crucial. The environment in which we are living directly determines the quality of life. Now we are experiencing the ill effects of environmental pollution, climate change. We are experiencing in the form of contagious diseases, experiencing in the form of unusual climates, bad weather, loss of crops, all such things. So while we are designing a quality curriculum, there shall be concern for environment as well. Then only we can go along with the concept of sustainability, sustainable development. You might have heard about that. There are 17 goals that the United Nations framed for sustainable development. The target is 2030. 17 goals. SDG, Sustainable Development Goals, proposed by United Nations. Okay. So that need based, how far the curriculum is based on needs of the individual, society as well as nation or at international level. Then alignment of the curriculum with theory, practice and field. or industry. Each course or program there shall be alignment within, as we are also already mentioned, the alignment between theory and practice, the integration between theory and practice. How well this theory and practice are aligned. So a major component of your program is research. You are having 2 core courses. You have to prepare and present a research proposal for 50 marks. Then you have to undergo a research work by gathering relevant data, and finally you have to appear for a Viva also. So altogether there are 500 marks set apart for research. Say 1/4 of your program is exclusively for research, but it is distributed as in 3 semesters. And in research, there shall be a component of statistics. Usually statistics go on in its own way and research go on its own way. Though the title of the paper is Research and Statistics. I am just saying it for an example. So while we are learning certain research, a type of research, the appropriate statistics for that research shall be learned along with that. Then it will be more meaningful, useful. So such kind of alignment. Then alignment with theory and practice, as well as aligned with industry or field. As our program is based on education, schools or teacher education institution, the curriculum shall be aligned with such institutions. Their calendar also, the NCT also is mentioned in such a way that the school curriculum and teacher education curriculum shall be aligned together for ease of internship or ease of collaboration. Because in teacher education programs we are mainly focused on theoretical aspects that we have to practice in field, that is in schools or in teacher education colleges. So there need to be a collaboration between these two. There should not be any separation. The collaboration may not restricted only to the internship period. There shall be continuous alignment, continuous collaboration. Then to ensure quality, there shall be variety within the curriculum. So a quality curriculum having variety of resources and activities. As we have already seen, resources for learners having different backgrounds, different previous experiences, as well as activities cater to the needs of variety of learners. And another aspect is the productivity. How far productive is the curriculum? The level and extent of capacities, competencies, skills acquired by the graduates of a particular program. That also is a determinant of a quality curriculum. And not the least, but updation in curriculum. The curriculum shall be designed with updated inventions, developments in the areas of discipline. Whatever discipline or whatever program we are trying to develop a curriculum. So these are the various determinants: the need analysis, proper alignment with theory, practice, field or industry, provision of variety of resources and activities, productivity, updation, etc. are the quality determinants of curriculum. So that's the end of this presentation. Thanks for watching. Thank you all.